Yeah, just a quick review of the book, Introduction to Vascular Scanning, A Guide to the Complete Beginner. So basically, the book is divided up into 17 chapters. It has 3 sections. So I'll name each one briefly just to give you an idea what's in the book, see if it's something you're interested in. Section 1 is Before You Scan. It's kind of an introductory chapter, goes over like terminology, jargon, buzzwords, gives you anatomy review, goes over instrumentation, things like that. Section 2 is scanning, goes over probe holding, positions, and ergonomics. Ergonomics is kind of doing it in a way that's not going to, hurt your body. It's just more efficient way that's more, biomechanically pleasing, so you don't, wear your shoulder out or your wrist out. Goes to things like carotid scanning, lower extremity venous scanning, arterial scanning, lower extremity arterial scanning, upper extremity scanning, covers abdominal Doppler, color flow scanning, and transcranial Doppler, and transcranial imaging. Section 3 is kind of a miscellaneous chapter. It's a miscellaneous notes and further encouragement. They have a chapter 14 is Doppler miscellany. 15 is sample protocols and narrations. And then 16 is other vascular diagnostic modalities. So yeah, as you can see, this contains a lot of information. And I mean, essentially, it's kind of like a how-to guide to vascular scanning. So if you want to know more about it, kind of at a beginning level, I think this is a great resource. Now, if you do a lot of scans, most sonographers, eventually they're going to run into like having pain issues, musculoskeletal issues. Matter of fact, sonographers, if you look at healthcare workers in general, sonographers have a very high rate of work-related musculoskeletal disorders. So I want to just bring up one other resource you might be interested in, easy exercises and quick fixes for sonographers with pain. So this is basically a list of exercises you can do to either treat existing pain that you have, like if you have shoulder pain or wrist pain, or if you just want to prevent problems. So this is basically a list of like, it starts from the thumb and kind of works its way up the arm. It goes to the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, the neck, and the lumbar spine. And basically, this is a list of like exercises and tips to keep you out of trouble. Exercises take maybe like, 1 or 2 minutes, and you only do the exercise like a couple times a week. So you just pick your problem areas, and then you kind of start from there. Starts on just real quickly, like the thumb. The thumb joint sometimes can take a real beating. So it shows you a distraction technique for the joint. So arthritic joints or overworked joints, they really like distraction. It just kind of takes all the pressure off, gives it time to rest and circulation. A couple of muscles that really strengthen, that really support your wrist joint and stabilize it. The abductor pollicis longus and the first dorsal interossei. So here again, these things just a couple minutes to do. It can save you a world of trouble. The wrist goes into a technique you can use to instantly lower carpal tunnel pressure for up to 15 minutes. So let's say if you do that frequently throughout the day, keep pressure in your carpal tunnel low, you don't have to worry about getting carpal tunnel syndrome. It's got some wrist distraction, got some wrist strengthening exercises. After a long day of scanning, scan after scan, some days it's just like it's endless. You might want to try something like contrast therapy. That's where you alternate heat and cold, and that like super flushes blood through your wrist, increases the circulation, gets those toxins out of there. Feels really good. Other tips for relaxing your wrist after a long day of scanning, has like a tennis ball massage technique and some other techniques you can do to massage the muscles. Goes a little bit about splints if you're up to that problem. Hopefully you won't get to that point. The elbow gives you an exercise for tennis elbow. The shoulder, really emphasizing rotator cuff strengthening. So holding a probe in certain positions, especially if your shoulder's abductor to held out to the side. Basically, the shoulder is a very shallow ball and socket joint and depends heavily on the rotator cuff to stabilize it. So they give you a couple of rotator cuff exercises. So this will make you a little more resistant to any problems. If you have a lot of muscle fatigue, like your rotator cuff fatigues easily, it's not that strong, you're going to get a little increase in excessive motion in your shoulder joint, like the ball and socket. So the ball is going to migrate a little bit, in a matter of millimeters up and down. And this can set you up for things like tendonitis or bursitis. So rotator cuff strengthening is paramount. Have strong shoulders. Goes over some stretches that will probably feel good. The neck, really cover about every problem you'd have. The neck problem, it has some strengthening exercise you can do, and also some stretches, and then it ends with the lower back if you're having a low back problem. Some stretches. Also goes over multifidus strengthening. I thought this was interesting. The multifidus muscles of the back are the key stabilizers of the spine. Strengthening your multifidus muscle is a proven way to prevent and treat low back pain. If you Google it, you'll find out the multifidus is it's the most important muscle to stabilize your vertebral motion. And a lot of studies showing that if you strengthen the multifidus, then back pain goes away. So just some resources in case you need it. But yeah, if you want to get into vascular scanning, this is a really good book. So definitely check it out.